so weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like, you know how happy we'd be to see black people start a functioning black community? Like, we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my goodness, good for you guys. Unironically, please. Like, you already have the demographics in Jackson and Detroit. There are zero scenarios where the political outcomes of those cities are not entirely within the parameters of black organization and responsibility. So turn it into Wakanda. Like, I would feel solidarity and pride with a 95% low crime, high productivity black city, or several in the United States. I wouldn't be like, we need to get in there and diversify it. I'd be like, no, let them do their thing. And if a bunch of Caucasians want to go in the woods and milk goats alone, shut up. We've underestimated how central tribalism, like ethnic tribalism, is to the human condition. And in trying to demonize it, we've repressed it to the point that it's now coming back with a vengeance. But it's not innately evil. You can still have in-group preference, a desire to preserve your culture and way of life, and have solidarity with a community of people who are like you, while respecting other groups. And like, let me just say, white people don't care if black people want to be left to their own devices. I promise you.
Your ancestors burned them all down. Your grandparents burned them. Your great-grandparents destroyed them. So before you get on here and talk this bullshit rhetoric that you're spitting, why don't you go do your research? Or watch a goddamn movie. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them you could watch and understand what the you're talking about. So if you're going to say, hey, go do it, then be intelligent enough to tell the complete story. Don't tell that much of it. And by the way, tribalism. Tribalism, bro. You're still stuck where most of you stuck. Wake up, bro. We're past y'all niggas. We're past all you stupid niggas. You stupid fuckers. We're beyond you, motherfuckers. That's what the country is telling you. You're trying to key into like less than 1% of the population, while the rest of the population in America is telling you we're not about that bullshit. If that's what you want to do, go off into the middle of nowhere in Arkansas and start your shit. We ain't got a problem with it. Matter of fact, nobody has a problem with any of it. Oh, what's up, brother?
I'm going to ask it because I don't think anybody asked you. Are you okay? Did you not pay attention in history? Do you not know about Central Park or Lake Lanier or any of that? Bro, go join that community. Leave the rest of us alone. Because, you know, that stuff that happened to them when they did have functioning cities, we won't do that to you. We'll leave you guys to your nonsense. The f away from us. But before you say something so astronomically stupid on the whole ass internet, maybe do some reading. Tone deaf much? Just a little? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. So I've been coming across comments and videos of Caucasian people claiming that Black Americans are bothered by that white-only town in Arkansas. And even some, like this guy you've seen on this video, asking why are Black people getting angry instead of them going to build their own functioning community, that there is no person from the white community who will come to bother them. But history is actually telling us otherwise. And seeing such people being very ignorant online, it's quite scary, honestly, because you have access to everything that you need to learn history. You have access to do research before coming and posting a video online, but you just choose to be ignorant, just trying to gaslight Black people. And we all know that Black people are not bothered by these. They don't spend their energy tearing others down. They spend it to uplift themselves. But we all know which community does that, because history has proven it, and history is still proving it. I want us to watch these videos together, guys. It's quite sad seeing someone just willingly want to be ignorant and just come and nab things online just because TikTok is gonna pay them and make money from these, when they could have easily browsed and get to learn of Black neighborhoods that have been destroyed by his own community. So many of them. Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street wasn't that long time ago. In the early 90s, Greenwood was one of the wealthiest Black communities in the United States of America. It had Black-owned banks, hotels, theaters, newspapers, doctors, lawyers, and thriving businesses. And you all know what happened in 1921. You can easily go and Google that. You can easily go and learn about that online without you having to come here and show us how ignorant you are. I want us to watch these videos together, guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on this episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. Consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know what you think about this. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary.
Community of people who are like you while respecting other groups. And like, let me just say, white people don't care if black people want to be left to their own devices. I promise.
Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, otherwise known as Black Wall Street, 300 plus residents unalived, 1,200 plus homes burned to the ground, many of which never to be rebuilt. Rosewood, Florida, 1923, 6 black residents unalived, town burned down, residents of said town fled, never to return. Elaine, Arkansas, 1919, 300 plus residents unalived, destruction, torture, imprisonment. Colfax, Louisiana, 1873, 150 African Americans unalived. Wilmington, North Carolina, 1898, 60 plus black residents unalived. Thibodaux, Louisiana, 1887, 30 to 300 black residents unalived. Widespread terror. New Orleans, 1866, the Mechanics Institute massacre. Over 200 black residents were either unalived or severely wounded. Springfield, Illinois, 1908, 7 black residents unalived, 2 of which were lynched. You see, history shows us exactly how this country reacts to a thriving, successful black town. Looks like you need to learn about it. And while you do, teach your people.
He's lying. He's lying. And I'm doing a stitch on top of a stitch because I cannot get to that video for anything. You know how many black cities were burned down that are underwater right now? Like, they're lying. I hate when white people get on here and just be spouting just to be spouting, and just be saying shit to be saying shit. There were several black towns. Matter of fact, the reason that the towns and the crime is the way it is now is because of the interstate system. Look up your research on how the interstate system cut through black neighborhoods and did it again. Like, every time black people get something, they cut it out again. They did it in Tulsa. This is Little Rock, Atlanta. Atlanta's traffic. Do your history on Atlanta's traffic. If you from Atlanta, don't never be mad about the traffic because it is very intentional and it's very by design. So you're stuck in traffic because of racism. That's the whole reason why Atlanta's traffic is the way it is. Do the research.
I would not be happy if niggas started their own community. Y'all burned them the first time. Actually, the first couple times. Not one nigga is mad y'all leaving. Go! No nigga in history has ever talked about going to Arkansas. And like, gang, Arkansas is already an all-white state. How white do you need it? The shit already sound like a recipe for disaster. Only the niggas gonna work. Y'all gonna be selling y'all off to each other, ain't y'all? I can already see now somebody dumbass father selling their daughter for some milk to the pastor. I'm telling y'all, I don't know how, but this shit gonna turn to some weird ass sex code. They'll use one quote from the Bible, twist that bitch to smithereens, and follow. Y'all gonna have the sorriest sports team of all time. And then y'all not inviting the Amish? Y'all niggas don't know how to build? Dog, this how I know this shit gonna be a sex code. Have you seen the leader? This nigga look like if dirt touches nigga, he gonna start spazzing out and beating his wife.
Watch this man's video if you want to, but it's genuinely just so fucking not reality, and I am concerned. His premise is that white people would not care if black people started their own communities and, you know, they weren't invited to the party. And like, let's be clear, Tulsa, Oscarville, Seneca Village, thousands of others, and you did care. And not only did you care, you killed people and you buried the towns, and you did that. And then you're like, oh, we wouldn't do that now. Gentrification, okay? Moving into neighborhoods that are traditionally people of color and, you know, renovating and marking up the cost of living so high that the people of color that originally were in that neighborhood can no longer afford that neighborhood, and then they move out further, and then you guys are like, oh my God, they're coming to our areas, so then you move into city, and that's, it's called urban sprawl. Look it up. But yeah, you sound insane, because as we know, white people don't want black people to have anything. They care about every single thing that black people try to do for themselves. If there's an earring company and they're like, oh, we sell, for, you know, mostly to black people, white people are like, what is that supposed to mean? You know, if there's a music style, you know, that is originated by black people, white people are like, but didn't we do it? But isn't that our music? Didn't we do it first, you know? And it's for all of it. Blues, rock, pop, R&B, rap, all of y'all. Like, don't get me started on Eminem. Please don't get me started on Eminem and y'all calling him the GOAT of a music style that was originated by black people. A white man's the GOAT? Cool. So all of your bullshit points about how like white people wouldn't care and let white people could make their own towns and none of us would come. We would not be like, you know, it's fucked up. They don't let us in their town. We'd be like, yo, stay the fuck away from whatever you guys name your town, like fucking Margaritaville or Mar-a-Lago or we love Daddy Trump, whatever it is that you guys would name your town. Yo, we would put up signs like for like hundreds of miles being like, don't go here, avoid it. We would never come in there and we would never bother you. But y'all are not the same, because you are destructive and you are evil and you do not like not being invited. You have FOMO to the umpteenth degree, so far so that you're willing to kill people and oppress people in order to not miss out on whatever it is that you think you're missing out on. So please make your towns so that we don't have to see your asses anymore. But do not ever say that if black people did the same, if black people made schools and hospitals and all of these things, that you guys wouldn't care, because they did it. And you burned it to the ground. You buried it under lakes. You buried it under parks. And you have continued to perpetuate the cycles of violence and inequity to people of color in this country. So kindly, you guys make your towns and leave us all, you know, the people that are not racist and the people of color in this country alone, because we don't want you anymore. And unlike you, we're not willing to kill you to get rid of the problem.
Got mail.
I'm convinced, like, at this point, I think we need to get together. People, we need to get together. At this point, I feel like if you see any video that is made like this from them, or any video that is made like, oh, I don't shower, or I don't wash my chicken, or I put cheese on my chicken, let's not interact with it. Because at this point, I think they just make it just because they know we're going to be so, like, aggravated that we're going to have to fact check them. And they bank on it so that they can get more views and more money in their account. At this point, I think that's the strategy. So we need to show them that we got you. We know what you're doing.
This year, I've seen so many people getting disappointed because Black Americans are not suffering as most people expected, as they voted for Black people to actually suffer. But now these policies are actually hitting them left or right, and they're like, no, we actually didn't vote this for ourselves. And this is why you're seeing so many people acting up. This is why you're seeing so many people creating crazy videos. This is why you're seeing so many people trying to come online and gaslight Black Americans, simply because they were voting for these policies because they thought because of their white privilege they are going to be saved from this. And now most are not happy that these policies that this new administration is coming up with, everything that they actually voted for thinking that it was not going to affect them, is now affecting them. And this is why you're seeing so much anger online. Not only online, you've even seen videos that are being posted of them coming at different people, coming at Black Americans. And honestly speaking, it's crazy to hear some people say that Black Americans are mad or angry about this white-only town in Arkansas, because we all know they are not. Because let me ask you a question. Have you seen any Black person trying to organize a mob to go and burn that white-only town in Arkansas? No. You haven't seen anything like that. Have you seen any Black person trying to pass laws to block that town from existence? No, you've not seen that. But when you go through history, you get to know who actually did that to Black people. You get to learn and understand that Black people have nothing against this white-only town. Actually, their prayer is for this town to work, for those people that don't want to be around them to be where they are, because they also don't want to be bothered, and that is actually their happiness. If you want to be out there, not around Black people, not around people of color, well and good, because I mean, there will not be all these things we're seeing about Karens and people acting up out of nothing. We'll not be seeing all this violence that we're actually seeing right now. It's just the other day that we saw men going to a HBCU university trying to debate HBCU students. Have you seen Black people doing that? No. Do you ever see Black people doing that? No. Honestly, it's you people who are always in Black people's businesses, and now you all want to come out here and say, oh, they don't want to debate, oh, these people are always violent, oh, these people are always this, these people are always that, but yet you always the ones who are actually in their business. Like, honestly, it's crazy the amount or the kind of obsession that you guys have towards Black people. And this is why you see actually so many of these kind of people creating videos around Black Americans, because they just cannot let Black Americans be. History has shown us that Black people do not destroy neighborhoods. They build, and when they are destroyed by your community, they rebuild. And this is what they've been doing. There is no single time you've seen in history or ever heard where Black people have destroyed white people's neighborhood. No. It's never happened. It never will. Because that is not Black people's character. Because Black people are not bothered by your existence. But we always see so many times how you're all bothered by Black people's existence. Black excellency is bothering so many of you. And it's so crazy that so many are actually coming out loud and agreeing this. The other day after the election, like some months ago, there is this man that did an interview and said the reason as to why they actually voted as they voted is not because they wanted cheaper groceries. It's not because they wanted a great country, or maybe when they're talking about past and whatever happened in the past when it comes to slavery and everything, maybe that's the greatness they were talking about when they had free labor, when they had free slaves to work for them. But the reason as to why they voted as they voted is the fear of becoming a minority. And the fear is not actually becoming a minority. The fear is that they think that they'll be treated as they've been treating other people over centuries. That is the biggest fear that these people have. And this is why they want to come and turn this around and make it look like Black people are angry about that white-only town in Arkansas. Like, there is no way this is actually affecting Black people. So let's be clear. Black people aren't angry about that town. They're not obsessed about who wants to live there. They're not bothered by it. But one thing that you should get clear and should get straight to your heads is that Black people are not going to allow you to rewrite history either. And the difference is that Black people don't go around burning and destroying neighborhoods. They build, they rebuild, and this is what they've been doing. So none of them is bothered by that small white town that is there. Anyone who wants to move there, any white person who wants to live there or build even another town in a different state, Black people have no problem with that. Honestly, they're not bothered because they're very busy minding about their well-being. They're very busy minding about building themselves. They don't have time to be obsessed with just some people who don't want to be around people. they're not obsessed about people who do not love them. It's crazy because these people, there's so much hate black people, but they're always bothered about them and everything that they are doing. Because if they're not, why were so many of you supporting those kids that went to try and debate school students at a HBCU, historically black college and university? They went there trying to debate kids. And now you want to say that black people are the angry one here? You want to say that black people are the ones that are actually obsessed with you? Like, don't you see the irony, honestly? I don't know what you all think, guys, but I just thought that I can share this with you. Maybe when people see it and get to learn, because I didn't want to repeat of the neighborhoods that have been destroyed by these people on this video, because on these teachers you've already seen people have explained and talked about these. So I bet maybe when this guy or other people that think like him, when they see such episodes or when they see such people who are actually mentioning this neighborhood and reacting or stitching their videos, they'll get to learn a thing or two. Because honestly, I've seen other Caucasian people actually trying to relearn the things that they've been taught about the black community, because so many of these things are actually not even taught in their schools. And maybe at some point, this is why you see people being this ignorant, but also at this day and era, at his age, this man that is talking here, they should not be this ignorant. You can just go and take a book and read, because there are books, there are movies, as these guys said, that are actually explaining and telling the history, rather than just coming here and show how ignorant you are. I've seen people who've come out, like white people who've come out and said, I learned these when I was like in my 30s, and I was so surprised because I had to relearn so many things. Thank you so much for watching up to this part. Let me know what you all think about this episode on the comments section. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't, and until the next episode, bye.